Hello and welcome. I'm Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. After 11 days of exchanging hellfire across the border, Iran and Israel have now agreed to a ceasefire brokered by the United States of America. Although the ceasefire was agreed upon by leaders of both belligerent countries, the US, Iran and Israel are all declaring victory almost simultaneously. Where on one side of the world, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is hailing America for their help, Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has congratulated his own country on their historic win over the Zionist regime in Israel. At the same time, US Defense Secretary has provided evidence that the strikes America carried out on Iranian nuclear facilities have completely destroyed their uranium enrichment pipeline and set the country's nuclear plans aback by decades. Independent intelligence claims that the damage is not nearly as extensive as America says it is. Moreover, as the US rallies its NATO allies to increase defense spending, China is reportedly hosting Iranian and Russian ministers in its own summit in Qingdao aimed at similar measures. All of this and lots more over the next half an hour as we get you all the latest updates from the Middle East. And let's, in fact, to start with, tell you about what Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has said. Ali Khamenei is celebrating an Iranian victory over Israel. He said the US regime entered the war because it felt that if it didn't, the Zionist regime would be completely destroyed. Khamenei also celebrated the strike on the Al Udeid base in Qatar and claimed the attack inflicted damage on the base, a claim refuted by Qatari and American authorities. Moreover, Khamenei has warned that Iran can take such aggressive actions in the future if there is any aggression on it by its opponents. Let's listen in to what Khamenei had to say.
رئیس جمهور آمریکا در شرح اونچه که واقع شده بود بزرگ نمایی غیر متعارفی کرد. معلوم شد که به این بزرگ نمایی احتیاج داره. هر کسی میشنید اون حرفها رو میفهمید که در زیر ظاهر این حرفها یک حقیقت دیگری وجود داره. کاری نتوانستن انجام بدن، به مقصودی که داشتن نتوانستن برسن. جمهوری اسلامی سیلی سختی به گونه آمریکا نواخت، به یکی از پایگاه‌های مهم آمریکا در منطقه، پایگاه العدید حمله کرد و خسارات همون کسانی که در اون قضیه بزرگ نمایی کرده بودن در این قضیه سعی کردن کوچک نمایی کنن، بگن هیچ اتفاقی نیفتاده، در حالی که اتفاق بزرگی افتاده بود.
Ambassador Manju Seth, former diplomat, is joining us on the broadcast. Ambassador Seth, what do you make of this first video message that Khamenei has given after the ceasefire and what he said? Do you believe he was merely playing to the domestic audience in Iran? What do you make of his messaging to the US as well as Israel?
I think it's a combination of both the things. It's both a messaging to his local constituency as well as to the US, saying that clearly indicating that this the attack by the US on its nuclear facilities has not resulted in any major damage, and also that the ceasefire was because of their attack on Qatar, on the US base in Qatar. And I think he's conveying very clearly that Iran had the upper hand in all this. And I think the US doesn't want to, US president doesn't want to acknowledge that, anybody else was responsible. And I think they have very clearly said that they brokered the peace. And I think Iran was under a lot of pressure. So it's, so what President Supreme Leader Khamenei is saying, that is also partly for their own domestic, constituency, to make them understand that Iran is the victor and it was, had the upper hand. And that is why the US wanted, his thought. Actually, I think there are a combination of factors, and all what it appears is that the nuclear facility has been damaged, and to what extent is being assessed, I think. And that the fact is that it has been, the nuclear program has been, has suffered a setback. And the fact that Iran, that the US president said that Iran and US will be talking about the nuclear program. I think that is a positive thing in this whole thing, that yes, they will talk about the nuclear program, that it continue under the IAEA supervision, though Iran's parliament has said otherwise. But I think they will likely agree because, with all the other Gulf countries also wanting peace there and everybody wanting peace, I think there will be a further movement on this, positive movement on this. And what is happening right now, what is playing out, yes, the ceasefire is holding, it is fragile, but it is holding. I think that is a plus point in the whole thing. But the Israel-Hamas war has still not found resolution, and I think that also needs to be addressed by all concerned.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.